In a small, quiet village, there was a little shop filled with forgotten treasures. Dusty books, faded photographs, and all sorts of old things lined the shelves. The shopkeeper, Mr. Ravi, was an old man with kind eyes and a warm heart. He had a special talent for mending broken things, radios that had fallen silent, lamps that no longer shined, and watches that had long stopped ticking. One afternoon, a young boy named Arjun wandered into the shop. His curious eyes scanned the room, finally landing on a large, ornate clock hanging on the wall. Its hands were frozen in time, sir. Arjun asked softly, "Why do you keep that broken clock? It doesn't even work." "Ma." Ravi looked up and smiled gently. "Ah, that old thing. It stopped ticking years ago," he said, his voice a low, comforting hum. "But I just can't bring myself to throw it away." Arjun frowned, a little confused. "But it's useless now, isn't it?" The old man just chuckled. "Maybe it is," he replied mysteriously. "Or maybe, just maybe, it still has a purpose." From that day on, Arjun became a regular visitor to the little shop. Every afternoon after school, he would help Mr. Ravi sweep the floors and dust the shelves, listening intently to the stories behind each and every old object. But no matter what they were doing, Aryan's eyes would always drift back to that same silent clock on the wall, a constant, motionless presence. Then, one day, Aryan's world turned upside down. His father lost his job, and a heavy cloud of uncertainty settled over his family. Suddenly, there wasn't enough money for food, let alone school fees. The bright, cheerful boy who loved stories and old treasures disappeared. Replaced by a quiet, withdrawn version of himself, his smile faded, and his eyes were filled with worry. When he went to the shop, the change was obvious. Mr. Ravi stopped his work and looked at him kindly. "You seem quiet today, Arjun," he said. The boy's shoulders slumped. He let out a long, heavy sigh. "Everything's going wrong. My father says I might have to stop school for a while. I just feel useless, like that broken clock on your wall." Murdoch Ravi paused, his expression thoughtful. He then pointed a gentle finger towards the wall. "Arjun, do you know what time that clock stopped it?" The boy looked up, his gaze finding the frozen hands. "It says 3 o'clock, mister." Ravi nodded, then held up his wrist. "Now, look at the time on my watch." Aryan's eyes widened in surprise. The hands on Mr. Ravi's watch pointed to exactly 3 o'clock. A warm smile spread across the old man's face. "You see, even a broken clock is right twice a day. Even when it feels like it can't move, it still tells the truth at just the right moment. It might seem broken, but it still has value just like you." Tears welled up in Aryan's eyes. He looked from the clock to the kind old man. "So, even if I'm struggling, I can still do something good." "Always," Mr. Ravi said softly, his voice full of conviction. "Sometimes our worth doesn't show on the surface, especially when times are tough. But that doesn't mean it's gone. It's always there, waiting for the right moment." From that day forward, something inside Arjun shifted. He didn't give up. He studied harder than ever before, found little ways to help his family, and most importantly, he started to believe in himself again. Years later, Arjun stood in front of his own classroom. He had become a teacher, inspiring young minds just as Mr. Ravi had inspired him, and hanging on his classroom wall, for all his students to see, was an old, broken clock, a timeless reminder that even when life seems to stop moving the way we expect, our true value never, ever disappears. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched your heart, Please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more content like this. We'll see you in the next one.